All right, our team has been covering the Miller hearing of the Oxford High School shooter for 3 days, bringing you the latest information inside the courtroom.
For many, this has been an emotional and triggering 3 days as prosecutors and defense attorneys plead their cases. And we learned just the hearing will resume on August 18th.
All right, we're going to check in with our Andres Gutierrez, who's outside of the Oakland County Circuit Courtroom to recap everything that's happened so far on this day 3. Andres, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Terrence. The only witness we heard from was that psychologist, Dr. King, who characterized the shooter as a feral kid who lost track of reality. He says that the shooter was neglected by his parents, and all of this was because he had untreated mental illness. Dr. King says the shooter did have a breakdown at the Oakland County Jail that fits the symptoms of psychosis, meaning he had a panic attack and lost touch with reality. King believes the shooter's childhood trauma, abuse of parents, and lack of support from the Oxford school system led to what happened on that terrible day. And because the teen's brain is still developing, King emphasized the shooter still has a chance to be rehabilitated in prison. Take a listen.
So, a feral child, and I would love to read the definition if I can.
If you can give us the definition, that would be fine.
Certainly. It's essentially a child who has been abandoned. Initially, this phenomenon was known as someone who is abandoned physically. But then there is an emotional and a psychological construct to it. So what the researchers saw is that someone who is abandoned has what is called arrested development. Hence, they lack social skills, they lack social awareness, they lack social cues, and essentially become misfits in society.
And now for the better part of the afternoon, the prosecution did pick apart Dr. King's testimony to prove that the shooter knew exactly what he was doing the day that he carried out the crime and knew what was right from wrong. So when the court resumes here on August 18th, we anticipate that the prosecution will bring up another witness on their side, and they will do a rebuttal. And then after that, we are expected to hear closing arguments. Again, the judge will not reach a decision then. Instead, there will be 2 dates set aside. One of them is when he'll announce his decision, and then followed by that will be the sentencing date, where we will hear more from the victims as they do those victim impact statements. Reporting live in Pontiac, Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Detroit.
All right, Andres, thank you for that update.